Yay. Hello, everyone. I'm Dragon Whelp, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. As you just witnessed, I just got Bob back, or got Bob to the capsule. After getting Jebediah here, I learned that it's just best to go as high as you can, as fast as you can, and then just free fall back down to the capsule here. And that saves a lot of monopropellant. So that's what I did, and as you can see, all of our Kerbals are nice and safe inside this capsule with all the science that there is to have. And just to be safe, we're actually going to get more science while we're here, just in case if I accidentally forgot that, science actually needed to be gathered. So since we're in the same relative location, it's not that hard to actually get all the science to be transferred to the data thing over here, the experimental pod. What is this? Experimental storage unit. There, that's it. So I'm even going to log like seismic data. Look, 80 science just for that. Granted, I probably already have it, but doesn't hurt to have extra science in store. Not to mention that if I got some science before and then I come back and do some science again, there's a chance that the science might mesh together and make the full string of science that you actually need. Because if you notice in a lot of these science experiments, you do them over and over and over again, you got this little bitty green smidge. Just itty bitty. That's the leftover science that needs to be listen to me. That the science that needs to be gotten from that area multiple times to get the full encyclopedia archive of the science in that area. So that's good. We've planted our flag. So that's one thing we've got going on for us. We've done an EVA report. We need to take a surface sample, which, dang, that surface sample. Ooh, 124 science. Goodness. And hopefully we can grab a lot of that and take it home. Oh, good thing our Kerbals have sturdy feet. Yeah, get back up. We got to get him inside the capsule here so he can refresh all the experiments. Yep, you just stay right there. I'm pretty sure you can reach all of it. Yeah, there you go. He's a trooper. Let's grab some of that. Let's grab some of that science. Take it. There we go. Get him back in the capsule. And let's get these guys home. They've been... I think the other ship over there, it's been out here for almost 12 days now. So they've been stuck out here quite a long time. So let's pack up our stuff. And let's turn that off. And let's head home. I'm pretty sure they want to go, and I'm anxious to get these guys and all this science that we've gotten back to where we can send it in. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of it. May have to go back over to that pod eventually and hook a probe body up to it so it can actually function while in the space. And there we see we just took a crew report. That's good. So, alright. We're done here. So, let's leave. And that's north, so we want to head off behind us. So, set our fuel going. And we want to head this direction. So, let's go. Need to make sure that we watch our periaps and apoaps. Push that out as far as we can, as hard as we can, because we got to get a good orbit around the moon before we can take off. So 15K should do it. Are we even going to have enough fuel to get home? That's the question. I hope we do. Otherwise, we're going to have to build another ship to bring out here and rendezvous around the moon, which, luckily enough, it's one of our missions. So let's add a maneuver, see if we can't get a... that's way too big. Let's just get an orbit around the moon. 4K, 5K, and that's good enough for me. So 22 seconds, so we'll start our burn at 11 seconds. So let's speed up just a little bit, because we're about a minute. Ooh, slow down. It's too fast. It's too fast. Alright, here we go. Crossing our fingers we have enough fuel. And burn. And let's get old Jebediah to go ahead and make that maneuver. Stay on that maneuver node, just in case it decides it wants to move. And cut the engines. 14, 14. Good. Hey, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, we're... I don't know if we have enough fuel to get home. That's bad. That's really, really bad. But I'm going to try. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick F5 to make sure we quick save this. Because if it doesn't work out too well, we can always load it back. Not to mention we got everybody in the capsule, so we actually need to save that anyway. So let's go ahead and cut this maneuver node. Speed this up. Ooh. Yeah, that doesn't look like we're actually going to make a good impression there. So what about turning it around, coming from behind us? How does that work? That does not work. So what about going in front of us? What does that do? Going too far actually gets us captured again. And this is slowly coming down. And it's going right back up. So either way, we'll have to do another burn. So it looks like Miss Valentina is actually going to have to do some missions while by herself on the surface. Because I don't have enough fuel. As you can see, I don't have nearly enough fuel. Or I open this menu here. No fuel. No fuel at all. But they're a nice orbit around the moon. They don't have to worry about food or water, so that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get back to the tracking station. And I'm crossing my fingers I have enough money. Actually, no. I need to go to... yeah, there we go. I'm hoping I have enough money to build an actual plane. Because there's another mission on Kerbin we need to take care of. Which is... conduct observational survey at X place. So let's actually look at where this X place is. So we just pull up our tracking station. And let's see, we are here. As you can see though, looking at it from this view, our little network's pretty big. It's not the best. We couldn't get coverage on the dark side of the moon while this satellite is here, but that's because the satellite doesn't have a relay. So we're doing okay. But let's see, the mission we have is to, let's see, Alpha HZP. So where is that? HCP area, ZK. Oh, so they're all over here. Or is it these? Yeah, it's right here. So that's kind of close where we're at, because I think we're right here. Yeah, I think that's us right there. So that's not too far off, and we need to get below 17,100 or 17.1, below 16.4, and below. So it's all below. Okay, so let's just take a plane out there. That should be easy. And I think it's what is it? A crew report? Yeah, it's just a crew report, so we can actually load up one of our little planes that we know works. We don't need all the science experimenty stuff. So let's see. We need the Explorer 3. $18,000 for Explorer 3. That's pretty cheap for a plane, and I think it actually works. But I don't really think we need this rocket. I mean, we could try to go for broke on both sides of it. Do the one for the crew report and actually do the one that's not too far away. So first off, though, we're going to go for the one that's below. So it's just a crew report, and the other one is a crew report too. So they're all crew reports. So we really don't need any science experiments. So I'll bring along the thermometer just in case. Unless, how much is the thermometer? Because I want to try to save money as much as possible. $900. Okay, since they're both these missions require crew reports, we don't need a thermometer. But this is all below 17.1, 16.4, 1800. It's all below. And this one is above. So we will need the rocket. So let's go ahead and get Valentina. Yeah, there she is. She's probably going to save the day. She's going to be the one that's going to make the money. She's going to be the one that actually gets the money together, doing mission control stuff to actually get the dimwits out there in space. Well, I kind of put them and stranded them out there, but it's all their fault. It's all their fault. So yeah, let's she's going to save the day. She's going to get them back home. She's going to make the money so they can get back home, which is awesome. So let's get this off the ground. Come on. There we go. Landing gear. Let's go ahead and mark these activated. There we go. Keep an eye on them. Let's get over there. Hopefully we don't run out of fuel. I actually need to stop that fuel from being used. Otherwise we'll run out of liquid fuel for the well, it's just the oxidizer that I'm worried about. But we can leave the oxidizer running. Just turn off the liquid fuel thing so that way we keep a nice center on our plane. Because we start losing fuel out of this middle one, we start getting, front and back heavy, and we just lose all types of control. So it looks like we're heading that direction. It may take us a while. Hopefully we have enough fuel. So I'll see you when we get there. Alright, we're in Johnston's Curse. So let's go ahead and do a crew report really fast before we leave this area. And then now we can actually head to the other two areas. No problemo. Since we're well below the 7,000, 17,000, 16.4 thousand, 18.4 thousand. We're well underneath that. It doesn't say how below we have to be. It just says we have to be below it. So we're taking full advantage of this, and we're actually staying well underneath what it requires. So we're able to do this mission with relative ease. Granted, this airplane can be stable. It's the only bad part about it is as soon as it starts losing fuel, it starts becoming a little bit unstable. But I think it's because I turned the engines down, slowed down just a little bit so we can get into the area properly. Because the radius of this planet, or not the planet, the radius of these areas are really, really small. So I was just trying to hit it right on. So hopefully we'll get into the next one pretty soon. All I'm waiting for is a little confirmation here at the top, saying that we actually that we're actually there. Before we actually get there, I'm actually going to reset the crew report, because even though we didn't actually keep it, it still counts in our quest or on our mission. So we should be getting really close. Alright, where's it at? Where are you at? So let's aim for it on the nav ball. Hopefully we'll find it. As you can see, they're really, really small, and you have to... There we go. Crew report. Take it, and then we'll just reset it. Awesome. Now, we're going to need to activate this one. Oh, it's already activated? Fair enough. Fair enough. So we'll find it on the nav ball. Oh wow, we're super, super high. There we did. There it is on the nav ball. I can see it. Making a big old U-turn. Making sure we aim at it on our nav ball. And then head straight till morning. Third star to the right, straight on to morning, right? And then after this, I think we may actually have enough fuel to head over to these areas. And that's why I brought the rocket, so we can get above 18.2, 19.1, and 19.1. So we'll just, at those areas, burn straight up and then cut just as soon as we hit that. I think we'll have it. I think we can do it. If not, then we can just get a couple, and then head back to base, and then send another ship out, because even though you would think this aircraft here is really expensive to build, it's not really compared to what a rocket would be. So that's why I'm thinking that I may want to use some of the science that I've required to actually unlock some of the newer space plane parts, because I'm thinking about taking a space plane to deliver the fuel the Kerbernauts need out there at the moon. And it's going to take a lot of thinking and a lot of preparing. It's going to take a lot of designing and engineering of the plane to make sure it's aerodynamically safe, make sure it's going to be able to get into space. Not only get into space, get a successful orbit around Kerbin, we also have to make a transfer to the moon and then do a rendezvous. So we're entering this area, so take a crew report. Alright, I don't even have to keep it. So that is done. All we have to do now is make it back to base. But since we have a lot of fuel, I'm going to make an attempt to go to these places over here. So I'm actually trying. I wonder if it's just because these surface areas are they actually turned off? No, they're not turned off. Something tells me this ship is not stable in any means. It's flying, but it's not really aerodynamically stable. Because I can't really make turns really fast. I mean, I could when I'm going... Oh, I know why. I'm 8,000 meters in the sky. The atmosphere up here is not very much. So the surface... what is it called? The surface area of the wings or the maneuverability of the wings don't really matter or don't really account for much in less atmospheric density. Now, if we get closer to the ground, we'll have a lot of air control authority. That's what I'm looking for. Control authority. I knew I'd get it sometime. I just took me a minute. Just be patient with me. So it should take a few minutes to get over there. So I'm going to speed this up, and I'll see you on the other side when we get there. Alright, we entered the area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually activate the rocket. I'm going to point straight up. And then I'm going to go to my map. And then once I hit... What point is this? Emaron Flux. Once I hit past 19.1, I'm going to cut the engines. And then so that way we don't go too high. We don't want to go higher than we actually need to. And then once we hit that point, take the crew report, and we got it done. So what I'm going to do is actually shut down this engine, flatten back out, and we need to head to this one. That's the next one. Okay. So we actually need to be 18.2 and then another 19.1. So I think the one we're going to now is Winter's Owl, which is... No, that's Nerd's Doubt. So it's going to be the 18.2 one. So once we level back out and get control authority back, I think we have enough oxidizer. Yeah, we got plenty of oxidizer. And we have plenty of liquid fuel in the engines. So I think we can get this one done as well and make it back to the Kerbal Center and land. So this is going to be awesome. So let's power these thrusters back up so we can get some authority back. I think this is the way to do it. I seriously think it's the way. And then just anytime you take these missions to do Kerbal, Kerbin conveyor or observational surveys. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's it. Just take a spaceship or a space shuttle out. Space plane. Words are hard today. Take a space plane out and just do what I'm doing. Just go and hop around. Make sure you have enough fuel to get to all the places, especially if it's halfway across the world. Awesome. So now we're on our way to the next point. We should be there soon. The only difference between the consecutive places is that we gotta manually activate the engine once we get to the places. So we just hit Nerd's Doubt. So I want to make sure that we hit up to, what is it, 18.2. Once we hit 18.2, cut the engines, shut this engine off, and then wait till we get up to 18.2. Take a crew report. Simple as that. Simple as that. And Valentina, you're doing a fantastic job, ma'am. Fantastic job. You're gonna bring those Kerbals home. 18.2. There we go. And it counted. So start the engines back up. Remember to deactivate the liquid fuel engine. We don't need that one. Or the rocket engine. There you go. And then we just got to get control authority back because we're diving down. It's not a good sign. The surface area of the wings don't really make much of a difference in thinner atmospheres because there's no wind or anything up there to actually flow across them. No friction, I guess that's what you can say. So we're getting some control authority back, which is good. We're leveling off. So I'm going to use some of this forward momentum that we're getting from falling to head in the direction of the last point. I think we have enough oxidizer to get to the last one. Yeah. And we have plenty of liquid fuel because if you remember at the beginning of this journey, I cut this liquid fuel from being drained. And doing that, I actually just clicked this little button right next to it. So that way we have plenty of liquid fuel to get home because if the liquid fuel in these tanks run out, I can always turn this one back on to make it back to the Kerbal Space Center. Or somewhere safe to land, I should say. I've landed in the water before, so if I have to make another water landing, I can. So let's get over here to this next point and get this crew report done. Oh, we're entered Shepherd's Bane, so activate the engine. Come on, here we go. Straight up, my friend, straight up. So we're looking for, we're looking for what, 19.2? There we go, 20,000, perfect. Remember to shut down the rocket engine. We don't really need it. We're just trying to get up to the point, grab our information, and head back. And that's 6 points we've done. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And 19.1, take the crew report. And it's done. So we'll kick these engines back on. And we need to aim back for the Kerbal Space Center, which is right here, I do believe. Well, we ran out of fuel in the outside tanks, so I just turned on the middle tank, making sure that it actually we can continue flying, because we're almost to the center, almost. So I'm glad I cut off that engine or cut off that fuel flow at the beginning. Otherwise, we probably would not have a lot of fuel left. So we're about to make landfall, and I need to, ooh boy, slow down. Need to make this turn back to the 90-degree marker because that's where we're heading. There we go. That'll do. Because we're heading roughly there, roughly. So we're probably still even too far forward. So let's turn it over to maybe 135. There we go, that should work. And the more fuel I use out of that center tank, the more unstable this ship gets. So I'm going to have to hurry. I'm going to have to hurry a lot. At least make landfall. That's what I'm hoping. So speed this up. Get landfall and hopefully land at the center. Crossing my fingers. I made a mistake. Was going to the wrong tip of the island. It's going to take me some time to get used to where the Kerbal Space Center actually is on the planet comparative to where the land masses are. I've never used to know until here recently. Like this little section here is where it actually is. Maybe I should place a couple of flags there. That might be on my to-do. I might think things to do list. Put a couple of flags there. That way I can always, no matter where I'm at, comparative to the actual KSC, I can actually find my way there. Via the oldest way to find things in KSC is to plant a flag and target it. It's a good idea. Alright, we're coming on approach to the Kerbal Space Center, KSC, and we're going to make a little landing today. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Make sure our seatbelts are fastened, and enjoy your ride. Shouldn't be too bumpy at all. And cut our engines, because we're going to have to slow down super fast. Let's go ahead and deploy our landing gear. And get lined up on the runway. I need to turn the engines on just a little bit to keep steady. Shouldn't be too much of a big deal. We got plenty of fuel. I'm going to try my best to land on the runway, but I don't know how successful I'm actually going to be, because we're coming at the runway at an angle. I might be able to fix that, but I mean, the only way to fix that would be just to do something like this. Come over here for a second. And then maneuver back. No, that's too far. Close enough, close enough. Alright, we're dipping so hard. Gotta turn those engines up, maybe up to a quarter. But we need to get closer to the ground. Oh wow, we're already 500 meters to the ground. Alright, then let's cut the engines down to just a little bit. So yeah, cut the engines all the way now, because I'm probably going to overshoot the landing now. Let's try to get down as close as we can. Flare, flare, flare. Dive, and then flare, flare, flare. Should have put some air brakes on this thing. I think we actually have them. We're going to miss the runway, but I think we're going to make a successful landing. And brake. There we go. Awesome. Recover vessel. Alrighty. That was awesome. That was awesome. 280,000 funds. So, yeah, we're doing good. We're doing really good. So, thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you have any suggestions on what I should do next, other than rescue the 3 knuckleheads in space, leave a comment down below. But until next time, see you later.